Welcome to Real Estate Exposed, where we uncover the stories, secrets, and power plays shaping the real estate industry. Big opinions, tough conversations, and the truths others won't touch.
Well, g'day everyone, it's Liam Garman here, editor of Real Estate Business, back today with our third episode of Real Estate Exposed. And for those of you joining us on YouTube, the background is different. We moved, we got couches, because couches, apparently they're the cool thing to do. And back with me, my co-host, as always, Emilie Lauer, deputy editor of Real Estate. Oh, we gotta make sure we can actually see each other.
Yeah,
we're still finessing the studio here. Now we've had a pretty massive week, so today we're going to be talking about. Oh man, there's a few big ones. Punch ups in the Lower North Shore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say punch ups.
Slapping.
Is it actually a slap?
There's been a slap. Yeah.
Okay, I think we can probably say that counts as a punch up. Maybe not.
Self-defense.
Self-defense. There's been slaps. There's been potentially people losing money in cybersecurity schemes. There's also been a bit of a Crips and Bloods versus each other in terms of settlements and trust accounting, which is not something that I ever thought would divide the industry in a way that I've seen before. But man, the streets have been lining each other. Like people have been going at each other both on social media and in the courts over the legality of outsourced trust accounting for settlement deposits. And it seems that everyone's got an opinion on this. We've been absolutely inundated with people having their opinions on it. That's what we're going to be talking about today on Real Estate Exposed. But take us away. I noticed you saw. Is it on the Mossman Daily? Is that what it's called?
Mossman Collective.
Mossman Collective, the good people of the Mossman Collective. Maybe we got to reach out to them because they might have the news. But apparently some agents in the Lower North Shore had a bit of a fight.
Look, it's the funniest story I've read in a long time.
Yeah.
So 2 real estate agents have been charged on an alleged brawl with rival agents. So basically 2 groups of real estate agents, rivals, going at each other. So everything started with people pushing each other. And look, one of the victims then struck with the right elbow as a defense mechanism. Then they kept working. Then the other group returned and started pushing. And then it ended with a self-defense slap. Oh. And then when the self-defense slap landed,
I think we have to say alleged. So, alleged everything.
Alleged.
And let's not name names because
it's got no names.
It's got no names.
It's got no names, so we don't know who that is.
If anyone does know,
yes, please reach out.
If anyone does know, so do we know where it was?
So it was in it was on the it was in North Sydney agents, and it was on the street of St. Leonard's.
St. Leonard's, okay.
St. Leonard's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Look, when the alleged self-defense slap landed, the other 2 agents threw that person on the floor and actually assaulted them while he was down.
Yep.
And then allegedly, people had to go in and separate them.
Wow. And
then they've been taken to Chatswood police station and they've been to court now.
If anyone knows what's going on in the Lower North Shore,
I mean,
man, it's a tough world out there.
Look, there's been so many petty things going on, over the past couple of months. You remember that
defamation?
Story?
We got the 1 mil. Is it 1 mil? 1 million.
Yeah, 1 million defamation. That was last week.
That was last week. Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to that one. But I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago. There's been that agent stealing the signboards. And driving away.
Didn't they? They stole the signboard and then they got caught and they got chased.
Yeah.
Or not chased. Oh no! It's because they had a tracking device on the signboards because the signboards kept getting stolen. So someone put a tracking device on it and then they pulled them over and they demanded they take it out of the boot. Insane stuff.
I mean, it's crazy, but you hear stories of graffitis on other people's boards.
That was up in Tamworth.
Yeah, it's. Look, I get it. Competition exists. But I mean,
you know what? And I'll give this my flavor and some color. But the damage that you're doing to your personal brand is it just so outweighs any potential benefit. And I know sales is cutthroat. I know sales can get you hot-headed. I know sales it's competitive, right? Like that's the name of the game. If you don't secure if your rival secures a listing, that's one less for you. Like that's food off your table at the end of the day. So I get why people get hot-headed about it, but the market that we're in is unique. And I say every week that the Australian property market isn't one market. What you're having on the lower North Shore or the Northern Beaches where listings are going up, for example, it's not necessarily what you see in maybe some of the first home buyer markets in some of the smaller capitals where they're still super hot. You're still at a price point where first home buyers are coming into the market at quite a rapid rate. Now, across the country, first home buyers are going down, but there are markets out there where it is a little bit cheaper. You still have first home buyers coming in at more affordable price points and higher yields. You still have a lot of investor competition as well. Not everyone's in the same boat with this, but speaking with broad brush tones here, broadly, listings are up.
Yeah.
Listings are up, and broadly, buyer confidence is down. There's a lot of money around in Australia at the moment. I mean, I think you've got about $250 billion in cash just sitting in offsets alone. But what people are doing in it, we read about in the news every day that the people don't want to catch a falling knife. And that's the term that people are using. So buyers are sitting on the side. The liquidity that people used to have in the investor space isn't there as well. A lot of people are waiting to see the next move. I know a lot of people. I do the SBI show as well. And a lot of people that I talk to is like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting until the next rate hike, or I'm waiting for this, or I'm waiting for that, or I'm waiting for my Cotality auction report on a Sunday morning to say 0% change because I know I've got a little bit more confidence that the market has hit the bottom. Then I'll make a decision on where my next move is. But again, broad brush strokes here. You have to fight for buyers. You have to fight for buyers, and you will get the listings. If you're good, the listings will be there because the listings are up. What you don't have is buyers. And if you are at an open home and you're the dude that's on the front page of a newspaper for any host of things, buyers don't trust you. And in this market where buyers have confidence, and this is it, buyers have confidence to ask for discounts, buyers have confidence to push back, buyers have confidence to ghost you. We're not where we were 12 months ago. We're not where we were 24 months ago where buyers had FOMO. Buyers will push you around. And if you're on the front page of a newspaper for allegations of something bad, that level of trust is going to be broken. Anything that you say will be taken with a fistful of salt, and people will push back and you will get worse results for your vendor. Your days on market will go up. Just think about your brand, guys. Like it takes a career to build and then one heat of the moment to end.
Oh, look, 100%. And personality does a lot of things, yeah? You don't need to go and, push your rivals around. Just work on your own skills, work on being honest with your buyers and your sellers. Tell the truth. Don't sugarcoat things. Don't try to push them around in terms of get them a fair pricing. Help your buyers, treat your buyers with respect because your buyers are your sellers of tomorrows as well. And I think that makes a difference. And markets yourself, in a way that is unexpected. So there's been a guy I can't remember where that is, but it's been a billboard. And it's basically the agents that
it's like the least worst agents.
Yeah, the least worst agents, which I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
And it takes marketing to the next level. There was another agency in their listings, they used AI animals. Like random giraffes and elephants and stuff like this to show the size of the apartment.
Oh, funny.
Which catch immediately the attention of the buyers. Yeah, and you're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. They do things differently. So just, reinvent a little bit your marketing, but keep it, lighthearted, keep it close to your personality, and true to your brand. Like, there's going to be rivalry and there's going to be other people wanting your business, it's just a game. It sells, Otherwise, change job. It's not for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've also had this week, and it's something that you and I have spoken about on a lot of previous podcasts as well, but there was a potential loss of, was like a cybersecurity scam.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So that was in WA, and it was a redirection scam. So look, property scams have increased so much because we're transacting big money, So every time you are transacting big money, scammers are going to try to get to you. And they're becoming more and more sophisticated. So there's also very much education needed for everybody to really make sure that you're double checking, triple checking, and calling the people when we are doing those big settlement money. So there's been a case in WA where it was a young mother, first-time buyers, that was going to buy a first home, that got an urgent email asking for settlement money. And she was dealing with the bank directly, and her banker found that the tone of the email was a little bit suspicious. Checked everything, checked the name of the person that was sending it, and then found that that person was actually on leave. So that raised even further suspicion. So rather than sending the money, they really went through the whole email and found that in the email address, there was just one extra letter.
Wow.
And that's all you could have taken for them to send the settlement money, and she almost lost 1.2 million.
And that's interesting. You know, there's so many examples like that with the letter A, right?
Yeah.
So just in TypeScript on different fonts and stuff, there are fonts, I don't know whether it's a Microsoft or a Google font, but the Cyrillic A equivalent in like that Russian alphabet, right, looks almost identical to our A, except there's like, it's missing like a tail or something really small, really, really small. And, you know, I encourage all our listeners, have a look, because one of my friends showed me, he's like, what do you notice about this email address? And I'm like, I noticed nothing. Like, it looks exactly the same. But what they did was just one of the letters was in a different language and you would not have known at all. This is how easy it is. So I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, the government came out with the Cybersecurity Act. And the Cybersecurity Act is, it's reasonable, but the penalties are super harsh if you kind of, I suppose, don't do the bare minimum in terms of cybersecurity. So I think the words are, you know, as far as reasonably practicable or something. Now, people look at that wording and say like, oh, you know, as long as you're doing your cybersecurity as far as reasonably practicable, you're like, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. Most legal experts, and this isn't legal advice, but most legal and cybersecurity experts unpack that to mean as long as you're doing as much as you can, right? Yeah. So what does that mean from an agency point of view? If you're doing the bare basics right and you've got things like multi-factor authentication for jumping on Google, not Google, but, you know, Gmail or your email address, you've got multi-factor authentication, you've got a basic firewall, you're doing the right things, you've got, you know, spam filters, things like that. If you're practicing in a cybersecurity safe way, there is an acknowledgement that, oh man, sometimes these things are going to happen because, you know, if you're a selling agent in a small country town and you've got a team of 3 or 4 people and you don't transact that much, and like an international Russian hacking group tries to take you over, you're not going to win that fight, right? You're not going to win that fight. But did you do the basics right? Did you have like a cybersecurity plan in place? Yes. Did you have things like multi-factor authentication in place? Yes. Did you have a good data protection? So what do I mean by that? Is are you saving data on an Excel file on your desktop versus is your CRM also protected? Does your CRM have multi-factor authentication? Things like that. Now, if you've done the bare basics, the government would look at that and say, okay, you've kind of ticked the boxes. If you don't, if anyone can log in, no multi-factor authentication, you've just got client data sitting on your Excel on your desktop, you can face hefty fines. You can, I think directors of organizations, and this isn't legal advice, but I'm under the understanding that there can be criminal liabilities if it goes really south and you haven't done the bare basics to protect you. And this is the thing about data security. We can't be flippant with it because, this act is quite a new act, and cybersecurity actors, threat actors are getting more sophisticated. Basically, you can just go online and download any hacking software and you can just do it now. You can get AI to do it. You can just upload it to Claude and say, hack, and there have been plenty of examples of that. And if you're a sales agent or if you're an agency owner and you haven't done the bare basics, and people go after you for exactly these reasons, and, we'll talk about settlements, deposits in a moment, but if people come in like a man in the middle attack where exactly what you described, which is someone takes over an email chain and starts redirecting funds to a different email, to a different bank account. And, we've all seen it where you get these emails like, oh, here's our trust account, BSB and account number. You always got to call up and double check, right? But if you don't have the minimums in place and someone comes in the middle, takes over one of your email addresses, and you've got an email chain there, and they give you the incorrect BSB and account number, or to someone that's paying settlement, to a landlord or to a tenant, man, you'll be in so much trouble. Like, I cannot stress that enough. You will be in so much trouble. This is not something that you can cut corners on.
And look, I was speaking with a bigger firm, a bigger agency, maybe like a month ago or something, because there will be a cyber podcast for us on Real Estate Exposed coming. And they were saying that they get like some attack like very, very frequently.
Oh yeah, it'd be probably hourly, minutes by minutes, right?
And basically, the scams and the attacks have become more sophisticated because of AI, and the speed of it is becoming more intense as well. So it's also for agency owners to really teach your team about cybersecurity and really have those discussions ahead of time to really, for them to understand the risk that implies. Because I don't know much about cybersecurity myself. I'm pretty sure some of my stuff are not safe enough, which I had to learn to like safeguard them. So now it's fine, but unless someone teaches you and unless someone explains to you why it's important,
But the thing is, and that's the good thing is you're not dealing in multi-million-dollar transactions, right? If you're a broker, if you're a conveyancer, and you're out there and you're listening to this, and you are, man, you will be caught. Like, ignorance of the law does not allow you to break the law.
Oh, 100%.
So if the Cybersecurity Act exists, there are legal minimums to safeguard client data and client money. Ignorance of that, and this for all of our listeners out there, ignorance of that law does not give you coverage. If you break it and you don't have multi-factor authentication, someone comes in the middle, redirects client funds, you will be liable. And if you say, I didn't know this, well, tough crap. Like, read the news.
Yeah.
Like, and also my heart goes out to the buyer at the end of the day, or the vendor that's losing the money. Mate, read the news. Open up the AFR. You think you're at the top of your game. You don't even read the news, mate. There's a hack every day in the world. There are businesses that transact less money than you that are getting done every single day. And what you think that people aren't going to come after you? Like, how? Like, that is a poor. That's not ignorance. That's negligence, as far as I'm concerned. I've got very little sympathy if people aren't going to do the bare basics to keep their clients safe.
But you know what? Even as a buyer, every time when you have to send that money, it's very stressful.
Oh, it is. 100%.
Like, you got to double check and triple check and call your agent.
Now, I'll call them multiple times
to make sure that I stayed on the phone with mine.
Oh, to make sure.
Oh my God, I was so stressful.
Yeah.
Like, I stayed on the phone while sending the money, and I didn't send it the whole amount at once.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared.
Oh, it's painful.
And then you see the money leaving your account, and you're praying that it happens.
Like, stagger it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so it's like
just to make sure.
I'll send the first $1,000. Can you confirm?
Yeah, exactly. Because you want to make sure that it's going to the right bank account.
For sure.
Because it's. Well, I sent 20%. Yeah, like it was a good 90K. Man, 90K.
Man, are you a 20% depositor?
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had
Google.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Someone hates interest.
Yeah, I don't like interest.
Yeah, fair.
I need to go and call my bank actually to negotiate my interest down because it's starting to aching me a little bit to see the others. I see the other bank dropping the interest as RBA
Did you go
holds.
to a broker?
You know what? I'm disappointed with my broker. She never called me back after the 1 year.
But did you use a broker?
Yeah, I did.
Well, then I would just get like a clawback scheme. Like usually this isn't financial advice. We'll get off it soon, but just wait for a clawback. So you'll probably after this, because obviously our phones are always listening to us, you'll probably get an ad from like one of the major banks being like $3,000 cash back if you move your mortgage from a broker to us now. Because obviously banks pay a tail to their brokers. So your broker will be getting several $100 a month off of you. And it's in a bank's best interest to give you $3,000 cash back now for you to move your mortgage to them. So do that. But that's not financial advice. All of us listening, I've also been told by our producers that because this podcast is quite successful, I've got to add ad breaks in now because nothing's ever free, is it? So stay with us. We'll be back in just a second. Well, g'day everyone. It's Liam here now. If you're starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with your compliance to-do list and a little bit irritated with everything that's coming through the pipeline to make sure that you are compliant, well, I have a solution for you. It's Visible, VISIBL, an end-to-end compliance platform that's been built specifically for Aussie real estate. Visible makes it simple to get your agency compliant. So whether it's minimizing the paperwork headache or handling AUSTRAC enrollment, risk assessment and policy, customer verifications, team training, and more, it's a platform built for the industry and built to actually make compliance simple. Check out Visible at visibl.com.au. Liam, Garman, Emilie Lauer, team behind Real Estate Exposed, episode number 3. Em, take us through the world of the settlement trust account, offshore trust accounting battle that's been going on.
Yeah.
Is battle the right? I think actually I stand by that characterization because, man, I'm getting calls, I'm getting texts, I'm getting emails about this every day. The major daily media, I think the Oz ran a story on people sending me that. It seems like the world has been split in twain and everyone's taking an opinion on it.
All right. So there's been a big court case going on in New South Wales with a conveyancer and the Australian Institute of Conveyancer and a law firm that has a third account holding with real estate. So their clients are real estate and they act as a law firm for real estate. And they are holding the deposit money
in a trust account.
In a trust account.
Third-party trust account.
It's not really much a third party. You can't characterize them as a third party because they're a law firm.
Okay.
So because they act on the behalf of the agencies are their clients.
Yeah.
So you can't really call them a third party. But it brings the third party deposit trust holder environment to the forefront of things.
Okay.
So basically, it has reignited the debate of all the third-party trust accounts.
The legality
of that.
Okay, got you.
So there's been a petition going on that is now unpublished. That is been targeting that specific firm. And that's been taken to court because the petition was accusing that firm of doing deposit flicking. Which basically deposit flicking is when agents are transferring funds to a third-party provider until settlement without telling basically the seller and the vendors. So it's basically done, under the cover that they don't want to hold the trust account. Now that's been taken to court. The judge has decided that this specific law firm was not doing deposit flicking because they had a clause within the contract that basically had the consent from sellers and vendors.
So it was like upfront.
That it was upfront. Okay. That it was held within that specific law firm. Trust account. So look, this been going on, and it has reignited the debate around third-party trust accounts as a whole. So now that law firms, they basically are within the clear with the court system. But the whole things has basically reignited debate on whether or not third-party trust accounts are a basically good thing or bad things, and whether or not it provides the same safety nets for clients.
So is deposit flicking illegal?
Deposit flicking is illegal until you don't tell the
If you don't
tell.
Okay.
If you get your consent, if you've got the consent of people, technically you are pretty much more or less within the legality of things.
Yeah.
The only issue, it's still too early and too young that the legislation around having a third-party trust holder is not there yet. So what's the law technically says is that it needs to be in a state-approved trust account. So that's what the law says, but it doesn't say whether or not it's, technically it's supposed to be held by the agent and the agency, yeah. So Fair Trading New South Wales is now aware of the issues.
Yeah.
And they are looking at the legislation around it. And they are starting to do some consultation with the peak bodies and everything in New South Wales. And I'm pretty sure it's going to follow in other states as well. So this has been going on for the past 2 weeks or so. And it's been, wow, it's taken off. Like everybody has an opinion. Social media is going nuts. It's quite interesting because it's big money, big actors. And there is also the fact that so if it's done properly, if those third party firm are like really legal and legit, some people are alleging I don't know, alleging that it could actually reduce real estate theft and those cyber theft as well, because there's more authentications doing, and because there is less of an easy access for bad operator to actually use that money for themselves, which is something we've seen in the industry and we've covered on REB. There's been a lot of trust account theft lately.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So if any of our listeners have any different opinions on that, because I feel like it's it's a bit of a grey area because they're still fighting it out.
And it's still ongoing. Fair
Trading's now getting involved. If anyone has a different opinion, reach out to Em or myself and have a say. Emily, what's your email address? emilie.lauer@momentummedia.com.au. Cool. Well, I think that takes
That's
us to
it,
Real
yeah.
Estate Exposed today. Thank you to all of our listeners for joining us, and we'll be back at the same time next week. But until then, bye-bye.
The information featured in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into consideration your financial situation or individual needs and should not be relied upon. Before making any investment, insurance, tax, property or financial planning decision, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you. Guests appearing on this podcast may have a commercial relationship with the companies mentioned.